Anytime we stay back, the men them outside, no they house, no they look for us, no they house. But you see the blood we don't spread. Anytime you say
It's your hottest DJ Don Genius, spinning the wheels of steel.
Okay.
It's your genius DJ.
So welcome on board again today, my wonderful viewers. From the brief intro you've just seen, so just as we started the explanation from the beginning, this has been a series of videos I've been dropping all this while about wordplay, as it is clearly showing on the screen. So we started driving it from the aspect of using the scratch, that is the oye sound, the scratch, and then fine-tuning beat using the keyboard. So in our today's episode, it's still going to be something similar, but we are going to be focusing from the point of where, if you listen to Acid Pro, you will see how you play around with the tone of the voice as well as the dropping. Just as you drop it very fast, as well as play around with the tone of the voice. Let me do it now so that you see what I'm talking about. Can you see? So can you see? You are actually repeating a particular point in the song, but you are adjusting the tone and making it flow along with the beat. So we are going to be seeing that even from the aspect of the beating, you can also play around with the beating too, just the way I've done in several of my videos. Just see how it will be. So from this brief intro, I'm sure you understood what we are talking about. For those who have been using the Acid Pro software, you get to appreciate what I'm talking about. So it's okay. So this concept has been on ground for years, that most of the time people prefer to use the Acid Pro more to get that done, but today I'm actually using the keyboard. From what you can clearly see on your screen, this is my keyboard. You can see how I'm using it and I'm getting the kind of result just as similar as the way you do. So in as much as I know this video was supposed to be focusing on transition at this point, but I want to also look at the aspect of the Acid Pro, so that from there you get to appreciate how you blend this thing to get your intro and outro for every song, while you are creating the mashup and then transiting from one track to another. So as we have started it, so at this point the mapping we'll be using today is not that really much of the difference. The only area we'll be looking at is, I think I've talked about this later several times, this one you use it to play around with the voice. Let's assume, yes. So as I've said severally, this key, you use it to chop the sound, just the way you do on your controller. When you are doing it, you chop the sound. So maybe you want it to be like this. So you can see this is the function of this key. Then this is our hot cue H, then this is J. This one is you pick a particular point in the song, then you use it. Then you also use this one too. This one is also another point. These are two different points. We have R, then we have hot cue 1 and hot cue 2. So the acapella I will be using, this beating is a very cumbersome beat. That is a song that is actually going about for now. So I'm using the beat, the acapella aspect of it. I picked a particular point in the song that I'm using to play around with, which is similar to what they do in Acid Pro most of the time. So you get the acapella, you get the beat to run, then you play around with it. If you understand the concept of this drumming, that is on keyboard, I think it will make it much more. If you can play it very well, try to watch that video. I talked about how you place your fingers, so that will really help you to know how you play around with it. This letter P is actually responsible for adjusting the pitch. Don't worry, I'm going to be showing the mapping one after the other, so it's not something really difficult. For those that are coming across this channel for the first time, I'm sure this channel is not only dedicated to explaining things for the DJs alone. I think if you are not a DJ, I think watching this channel too will really help you a lot. It will make you get to appreciate what DJs do and why they do it that particular way, and you get to see the responsibilities associated with being a DJ. That is why if you watch my video where I talked about the basics of becoming a DJ, that is what it takes to be a DJ, you get to understand how I break everything down. So some of these concepts that I'm explaining here, they are majorly done on the controller, but today I'm actually bringing it to the aspect of the keyboard, which means with your controller or without your controller, you can deliver and actually make your audience get to appreciate what you are doing. And by appreciating what you are doing, it means you're actually giving them that life in the event. So as a DJ, that is one of your major rules. When you go to an event, you give life to the event so that the people will have every reason to remember it. So I'm not talking about those kind of DJ that will go to an event and at the end of the day everybody will be hissing. No, if you are like that, please try to improve. The DJ profession is not just as easy as people think it is. People think once you can have your earpiece and play around with it, that is all, you are good to go. But in this case, you have so much work to do. The DJ profession is actually is dynamic in nature. Those days where they deal with controllers alone, today you have a lot of softwares out there that will give you a lot of different flavors and different patterns. Depends on how good you are in playing around with it. So let's get to see the mapping of the softwares of the mapping we are talking about. So it's going to be simple and straightforward where I've explained it. I started with the letter R. So this is the letter R. You can clearly see it. You have your up command, which is squaring the status of the key. You have the letter. It's squaring the status of the key. Let me show the keyboard so that you clearly see it. This is the letter R, which is showing the status of the key. So when we press the key down, it executes a particular action. When we release it, it performs another action. So if you can clearly look at it, it's showing two different colors. The first color, which is green, that is the action that will take place when our key comes up. So there is a column. The column is now talking about the other aspect of the instruction. This is it. This is a column in between here. Then the command after the column will be executed when we press the key down. So when our key is down, it will execute this first part. Then when we release it, it will execute this second part. So that is what this is. You can clearly see even the machine is explaining that condition when it is up. So this is for the letter R that we've seen it. Then we have our F. This one is to ensure that our volume comes up back to 100%. Sometimes the reason why I prefer using this R in my own case is as you are pressing it, you are flowing along with the voice. So the number of times you press it and release is going to be that particular point that you want people to hear the voice. That is when you press it down. So it gives you that added advantage. So that is the beauty of the whole thing. Just the way you do it on the crossfader, when you are playing around with the song, you are flipping your hands and shifting it in and out. So this is what this letter R does, which is similar to what the crossfader does. But in this case, the command is actually working on a particular deck. So that is the deck that is default. We have our letter of F, which ensures our volume comes back to 100%. After you press it, by the time you release it, the volume will go down. So this one will help you to bring that back the volume to 100%. Then you have your H, which is hot Q1, which is hot Q. You have your G, which is normal hot Q1. You have your J, you have your hot Q1. Then you have your K, which is hot Q2. This is a primary target now, which is letter P. This letter P in this case is also a hot Q, but it's a flexible hot Q since it is not having an argument. There is no anyone that is attached to it at the end of the day. So that means it is going to work with any of the hot Q that is being selected last. That is what this means. So it means it is not being attached to, it is a global variable now. So In programming, there's what we call global variable. Global variable are things that are left in the open for everyone to get access to. So in this case, the hotkey that is associated to this letter P is free to be used by any of the hotkeys that I set here, even if it is hotkey 10 hotkey. But if I attach one to it, it means I'm tying it to a particular hotkey. That's what it is. That is functional. For those who do programming, you get to appreciate what I'm saying. So I'm not limiting it. So when you have, which is the same thing Google used to get information from the server. So if you are searching for something on YouTube, it means things are limited to where you can set it. It's going to be limited to YouTube. But by the time you go on Google, everything you see on Google is a global variable. It's applicable. It's open to everyone to get access to. So that is another point of view. I'm also explaining this for you. Just like when you keep something in your sitting room, anybody that comes to your house can have access to it. Yes. But if you keep it in your bedroom, it means it is limited. Not everyone have access to your bedroom. That means that is what the global variable and the functional variable is means. So for those watching this channel, maybe from different countries, I'm sure you get to appreciate this channel and watch. Don't worry, I will be improving on it to give you more, so that you will not have any reason not to appreciate what I'm doing on this channel. So you can keep a date as we can continue to give you more. So I've explained this P, this other one. Then we now have our tab, that is this caps lock. The caps lock, the king that does the magic. This one takes care of playing around with the echo. The first time you press it, it affects the echo. When you release it, it allows the echo and pauses the sound. That is what this caps lock does. This is it. You have your default 100%. That is ensures that the volume comes back to 100%. Then if you look at how the command is being highlighted, the first part of the command, which is the word letter play, which is question mark, is querying the state of the machine. That means the state of our controller. That is the state of our deck. If the deck is playing, it will pick and turn on the echo effect, which is this very one, on. Sorry, it's going to also query. It's a combination of queries. Sorry, in this case we are querying two states. We are querying for the state of the device, the deck. Then we are also querying for, that means you are combining two states of command. That means you're asking somebody, is he fine? If he is fine, is he satisfied? So you see, you are asking him two different questions at the same time. So he's going to execute the first one, which is, this is effect underscore active. If he is fine, at the same time he is satisfied with what you are doing. But if he's not fine and he's not satisfied, he will execute the other one. So this is it. This is a combination. This AND is combining this default deck, ensures that the level is 80%. That means when the two states are okay, that means when these two states, this very state, this play, when this play and this echo are on, that means it's going to pause the song. But if play is on and echo is not on, it means it's going to execute, it's going to turn on our echo. But if play is on, okay, it's going to turn on this and then combine it with this level 80%. But if the two, that means this play command and this echo are not on, it's going to execute this last one, which is also after the column. So it's going to turn off the echo effect and hotkey 1. That is why sometimes if you press it again, it starts the song from the beginning. So thank you very much for being there. So from the little I've said so far, I'm sure you get to appreciate it. So from this, we'll be moving forward to some more aspects as I continue to give you more. So while we look at other aspects, how you play around with this to move to transition, to move to a host of other things, maybe subsequently in my future video where if I feel I don't need to add something much to this one again. So I'm sure you get to appreciate it. So let me press the caps lock for you to see. Look at it. This beating is playing. Just watch. So can you see? I'm using it together with the letter P this time around. See. So you can see it just as I've said. So why as the letter P is always there, you see this key, so it is increasing the pitch at every point that will press it. Then when it is up, it sets the volume to 100%. It's just similar like the hot cue from this very particular point. This particular point to this end is just like the hot cue. The only difference there is this key move. This one takes care of adjusting the pitch. This key move, that is the only difference. So I'm sure you get to appreciate it as you give it a try. If you have any problem with it or any challenge or whatsoever, I'm sure you get to appreciate it. Let me know from my comment section, and host of other. You can subscribe to the channel where I continue to give you the very best. I'm sure you appreciate the editing that is coming to my YouTube channel of recent, as I'm constantly making effort to improve on so many things. So if you really like it and you want me to assist you in your area of video editing too, I'm sure you can let me know at the comment box, or you can contact me in any of my social media handles, particularly the Facebook for now. Then we'll get to see how I can assist you. If you need some of the aspect of the lower third or some other maybe small DJ animation that you want to incorporate in your virtual DJ, maybe you can let me know. But that one I'll make it for free. But for the aspect of video editing, if you want me to assist you with that regard, I think you have to pay something small. So it's not something that you will not be able to afford. So you don't need to worry. So try to improve on all these things, and think making things engaging for your audience is very, very integral in our present day world, especially with some little touch on the video, just as you watch my couple of videos that have come off recent. So I have a couple of things that will be coming your way, and I'm sure you get to appreciate it. So thank you very much for being there. Let's continue to enjoy ourselves. Peace out. And
it's your genius DJ.
Okay. Pull up, man getting up. Man get it. Man pull up, anytime we stay about, the men them outside, we know they house. No, they look for us, we know they house. But still they put up with pants. Anytime we stay man getting a anytime we stay about, the men them outside, we know they house. No, they look for us, we know they house.
It's your hottest DJ Don Genius, spinning the wheels of steel.
Help me! If they carry me, they go, we are not know.
Okay.